Hello everyone, welcome to the PNSQC 2022. The PNSQC is one of the most famous conferences that explores software quality and software testing in the context of the modern world. This year, the PNSQC is celebrating its 40th anniversary and is a hybrid event both physically in Portland, Oregon and virtually on Zoom. Mobica is very excited to be in attendance and to present as part of the conference this year. We would like to present you all Alexa, how to test Alexa, an automation approach. Without any further delay, I would like to start introducing our Mobica speakers today. Please meet the speakers, all proudly representing Mobica. Juan Delgado is a principal engineer in test with a track record of delivering major test solutions for telecommunication companies across the whole United States in projects on behalf of Mobica US. Also a lecturer in two of the most prestigious universities in Mexico and also participates as a speaker in both the US and Mexico. Sahana Gunnasaker is a software engineer at Mobica with 6 years experience in IT, an expert in building automation test suites and configuring frameworks to satisfy client needs. And myself, Deanna Raven, a senior program manager with over 12 years experience across the software industry, with a passion for leading change efficiently and an unwavering enthusiasm for solving problems and uncovering new opportunities using the power of technology and data. Special thanks to our test consultant, Lukasz Tutor, for his collaboration in creating this project. Piotr Roblowski is the head of delivery for Mobica US, with the more than 20 years of experience in creating, defining, developing, and delivering innovative global telecommunications, defense, cloud, and software technology products, services, and solutions. Chris Chopa is the head of solutions for Mobica US. He has spent his career at the intersection of technology and business value across large volume web applications and services, automotive infotainment and digital cockpits, mobile devices, and IoT. This conference in a glimpse focuses on a high-level approach of quality strategy to test the Alexa voice assistant on real Android gadgets in order to validate Alexa in different acoustic noise conditions and different utterances to validate how many times it is successfully detected. We will also cover some strategies, sharing some best practices and what we use to achieve our goal. And finally, our conclusion. As our grand finale, we will show you a demo. Mobica is a global engineering services company helping our world-class partners deliver solutions into connected devices, automotive, and silicon platforms. Part of what makes us unique is the high level of quality and experience of our engineers. They stay at Mobica because they get to work with a marquee of accounts, developing applications, platforms, services, and products that are changing the way people use technology to interact with each other. If you want to tap into this talent to drive your company's strategic goals, talk to any of us up here on the stage or go to www.mobica.com.
Voice assistants. Voice assistant is a virtual assistant that uses speech recognition, natural language processing, and speech synthesis to take action on user utterances to help in our day-to-day, and they're available in cars, household devices, smartphones, and several apps. Much like the structured language used by humans, where a word signifies an object, digital assistants rely on a combination of utterances and intents to respond to voice commands. Utterances. An utterance is an input from the end user. It may be a sentence such as, "Play Baby Shark" on Amazon Music, or a fragment of a sentence such as, "Open Amazon Music." Utterances are impacted by variations in user location, gender, age, etc. Intent. The intent is a purpose or goal expressed in a user's input, such as playing Baby Shark on Amazon Music. An intent represents what the user wants the digital assistant to do. Entity. An entity represents detailed information that is relevant to the utterance. For example, in the utterance, "Play Baby Shark on Amazon Music" on Fire TV, where Fire TV is an entity. Alexa. It all starts with Amazon's wake word, Alexa. The voice assistant is part of the Amazon services that are built around the Alexa devices to support voice commands. The Alexa voice service was first introduced with the Echo device. To interact with a smart device, a user must say Amazon's wake word, Alexa, and then say a certain command. The device then sends the user commands to the Alexa voice service, which is the cloud service responsible for processing the voice commands and returning the response back. On a generic workflow explained, a user can say Amazon's wake word, Alexa, plus a command called an utterance into a device. These utterance inputs are interpreted as voice commands that are detected and recognized. The actual output can be seen as a voice answer given by the device used to the user, or also can be a software developer in test, even could be an output log value called logs shown on the logcat window in Android Studio. Voice assistance testing. As mentioned, this paper will discuss how we can get into voice assistant testing, and we will propose a QA approach to develop a black box automated functional test proof of concept to test a voice assistant specifically on Amazon wearables. Then Alexa. Please, let's start. Actual situation. There are countless approaches to testing automation projects with voice assistants. Our strategy consists of identifying the most common challenges for testing voice assistants, which might include the user. We should be able to test with a wide range of variables with different languages, accents, ages, and gender. Device or gadget. In some cases, could be required different devices as first party, like Amazon Echo, and third party, like Android Studio, devices, cars, small gadgets, etc. Environment, that tests different background noises. Solution or proposal. A proof of concept solution is based on the general common challenges for voice assistants and where we focus on scenarios to test the trigger of Amazon's Wake Word Alexa and to validate the performing actions with an in-house built Python script, besides using different tools and methodologies that support the most common aspects of quality approach in the proof of concept that will be shown using the Amazon wearables that explore a real-life example to help you get started with the voice app testing. Tools. The core of the solution uses Python to perform the speech of Alexa and to read the Android logs in the wearable to validate if the trigger was successfully accurate and the action performed. The goal. Our goal consists of creating a test automation script that plays an utterance using Amazon's Wake Word Alexa on a computer or external speaker to be triggered on wearable Echo 5 and performed on Android mobile phones or Fire TV apps.
Project methodology. Let's look at some of the methodologies applied in our proof of concept to achieve a successful demo. Scrum. First, we choose a framework to manage the work and solve problems as a team, and we use Scrum. Working with the Scrum methodologies begins with identifying the problem and its core components. In this case, the team focus on the MVP, minimal valuable product. Knowing this, we work in a series of sprints to achieve our goal. The team was divided into 3 roles that ensure the workflow needed. First, we have the role of a Scrum Master. This role is akin to a coach who helps the team with its expertise. He focuses on improving the team effectiveness. The next role is the development team. They work to deliver a potentially releasable increment of finished tasks at the end of every sprint. Their task is to give structure to the development project and determine the number of tasks given to each member. They also carry out the task of working on writing the paper. Finally, we have the role of software developer engineering test. This person writes the test proposed by the development team, using all the given tools for identify the possible flaws of the application. This person analyzes the outcome of each test and documents their conclusion. Since this is an automated framework, the developer also integrates the tools needed for scalability and automation of the proof of concept. MVP. We base our project on the true meaning of the minimal valuable product, called MVP, focus on our Python script with a minimal set of features to be valuable. We base our solution on the following. Execute the speech of the Alexa. Validate the triggering of Amazon Wake Word Alexa. Validate the response of the triggering and validate action performed in the wearables. Best practice. Quality assurance testing is the process that ensures the quality product, and in our case, our product is the test automation framework with a script to test the voice assistant of Amazon Alexa. To achieve it, our strategy is to implement the most common best practice in testing and coding to have a high-quality test automation framework, reliable in the result of the testing. Best practice on testing, starting by giving defined clues regarding the prevailing best practice in software testing projects. During the development of this proof of concept, our team focused primarily on the 3 main types of testing: functional testing, black box testing, and regression testing. Testing techniques. To improve the quality of the tests, there are various techniques during the design process of the OSAP test suite. Our design process was dynamic, a combination of a specification-based with experience-based technique. The specification-based technique I primarily based on black box testing, which include technique of its own, such as use case, user stories, testing, state, transition, boundary values, and equivalence partitioning, among others. Using experience-based technique, such as exploratory testing or error guessing, also is important to be considered in the test design process. The team might be composed of engineers with different skill sets and backgrounds, and this could allow having a variety of perspective and insight to lead a better robust test coverage. For our proof of concept and following the MVP, Scrum methodologies, and testing technique, our testing will cover the following functional test cases that will be shown in our demo presentation. Hey Alexa, play a song. Functionality. When the Amazon Echo is connected to a Fire TV, Amazon Digital Assistant Alexa can help to play movies and TV shows from Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and more using the wearable Fire TV. Also can do most of the common functionalities, such as stop, play, and any others, with voice commands. User story. As a software developer engineering test, I need to validate that when Alexa wake word is triggered, should be detected by the Amazon Echo 3 to perform the U-turns action on Fire TV. The next test case. Hey Alexa, make a phone call. Functionality. When the Amazon Echo is connected to an Android device, Amazon Digital Assistant Alexa can help to make a phone call using the wearable's mobile phone. The user story. As a software developer engineering test, I need to validate that when Alexa wake word is triggered, should be detected by the Amazon Echo 3 to perform the phone call action from the mobile phone. Best practice coding. Now we are going to talk about the test practice in coding. There is no standard process when it comes to coding. Therefore, industries have to be working on creating rules or tools that ensure that all code has the same structure and has an organic flow through the code structure. Okay, now let's discuss a few best practices or techniques that we have used in the development of our demo to enhance the coding of the proof of concept. ESLint. Formatting is one of the several concerns in the efforts to write clean code. There is a lot of other stuff we should be concerned about as well, but the formatting is one of those things that we can set up right off the bat and establish it as a standard for our project. ESLint helps us to enable us to enforce a set of style, formatting, and coding standard for our code. It looks at our code and tells us when you are not following the standards that we set in place. Create our own set of rules, or we can use the rules from IT companies like Google or Airbnb employ. The goal is to make our code more consistent. Code reviews. Code reviews is the process in which a programmer consistently and systematically checks the code for mistake or structural mistake. The code reviews have proven that it helps to accelerate the streamline of the development process for projects. Code reviews, when done right, can improve the programmer's workflow, reducing the amount of time the quality assurance team requires to check the code, therefore saving time in general. Particularly in this project, we employ the over-the-shoulder style and GitHub for code review quality of our code.
The test automation framework approach. The voice assistant undergoes rigorous functional tests that ensure the correct functionality of Amazon's wake word Alexa and its performance. Usually we have two types of testing, functional or manual testing and automation testing. In our case, we are focusing on automated testing, but a proof of concept is more like a test solution by a test automation framework. The test automation framework includes everything needed to perform automated tests. and provides the SDITs with various benefits that help us develop, execute, and report the automation test scripts efficiently. By implementing the appropriate framework for automated testing, we can significantly increase the speed, accuracy, and reliability of testing results. The test automation framework tools. Regarding tools, it is good to keep in mind two factors. It is best if they align to the company's engineering tools and with the QA team's skill set, as we can save time on training and avoid issues where a switch to another tool in the middle of a development. We developed our framework using Python using the following libraries as the most important: ADB Shell, UI Automator, Unit Test, PlaySound, and others. Let's talk about the main tools used a little more in depth. PyCharm. Working with Python, we chose to use PyCharm as our IDE because it's one of the most popular IDE for Python and includes great features such as excellent code completion, inspection with advanced debugger, and support for programming. In the end, PyCharm will help us for the test automation project for executing tests automatically, managing the test data, and taking the results to improve the quality approach. Android Studio. Logs are very useful when SDITs are diagnosing an error or validating an expected value output from the Android device tested, which includes several logs that deal with different parts of the performance of the testing. In our case, we are not exempt from reviewing the logs. The Logcat window in Android Studio displays those Android logs in real time and will help us utilize the tool to collect and visualize expected logs output to validate the pass or fails of a script. Audacity. Remember the utterance on voice assistants, the phrases that are said in order to make a request to Alexa that can hugely be varied because of the wide range of variables with different languages, accents, ages, and gender, plus different background noises like traffic, restaurant, etc. Well, Audacity will help us manipulate our own utterances on a M4A file format that needs to be recorded, edited, mixed, and added effects to the played during the test execution according to the test case. GitHub. We used GitHub to manage our source code and to maintain a record and track every change we made to the framework. We also used it to pull requests to review the code, which helped us to have a functional project in the repository with excellent quality code.
Code architecture. The architecture in our test automation framework may be defined as a mental model that dictates how the code of the framework or solution is structured and communicates between its parts. And we use architecture to increase maintainability, decrease complexity. The core of this proof of concept, becoming a test automation framework, is a wrapper of libraries: ADB Shell, UI Automator, Unit Test, etc. It has many classes with functions that are necessary to create the test cases. And with this, we can do test automation. Also, to scale, keep in mind that could be considered different classes or methods, such as file management, a logger that registers action executed by the framework, etc. We could consider our architecture as a modular business layer, where the key is to implement the methods to play an utterance and validate that Amazon Waveware Alexa triggered is detected and performed the action on the Amazon gadgets or Android mobile devices. Suite. The test suite folder is where you create and store the end-to-end test automated script that were identified for assessing the correct functionality of Amazon Waveware Alexa triggered. Some of those test automated scripts will be executed in the demo of the proof of concept, such as Alexa, YouTube. This contains this following test: Alexa plays YouTube video on an Android device. Other one, Alexa phone call, contains the following test: Alexa makes a call on an Android devices. And Alexa Fire TV, Alexa plays a video on Fire TV. Libraries. So let's take a look at some of the main core libraries that make up our test automation framework. ADB folder. Run the ADB commands and other functions that will execute specific commands like install apps, open apps, close app, make a phone call, downloading, etc. My app folder performs a specific action in some specific app. My device folder, ID of the device with main functionality to perform. Util folders contain the functions to help us to play utterance on the computer. Demo. Now is the time for a demo. We will show a test script to illustrate the works for test automation script in action. Conclusions. This project is just a glimpse of how to start an approach of quality on voice assistant functionalities that might evolve through the software testing lifecycle to create an automated framework. Concluding with the points, what add values as engineers, team players, best team and programming practice, automation appropriate strategy, agile incremental build model by MVP. And with those lessons learned, we can attack any new technology or gadgets in the future. We just need to be ready and trained. Mobica, being part of the PNSQC 2022, think that we can contribute to the QA community by sharing experience and the best practice, so the community interested can start to learn on their own automation project.
We would like to thank you for attending our conference at the PNSQC 2022. We truly appreciate your attendance and we hope you enjoyed the presentation. We look forward to seeing you next year. My name is Deanna, and on behalf of Mobica, I would like to thank you again for your attendance. We hope the best for you and your success in the future. Please don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms for the latest news and information about Mobica and its community, or even better, join us in our tech family.